Oh man, melanated family. What's up, y'all? So check it out. This video is actually just a update on something that I talked to you guys about before, right? And I want to make a point here. So, early January, I talked about a brother named Jason Walker, who was basically walking across the street, got hit by a vehicle. The vehicle that he got hit by was being driven by an off-duty police officer named let me get all my receipts here, named Jeffrey Hash. So the brother was walking across the street. He's hit by a off-duty cop named Jeffrey Hash, who gets out of the vehicle, shoots him 4 times, right? The whole situation was, the cop says the black man, Jason Walker, jumped on top of the vehicle, began to pull the windshield wiper off, beating the windshield, causing a crack in the windshield, right? When I reported on this story in January, like a lot of times when we deal with police brutality or just dealing with white people to a degree, like dealing with other races of people, and how the law and how the system always seems to come in and circumvent the situation so the cop or the white individual gets off safely. That's just my opinion, family. So when this shit happened, when the white gentleman, and I played a video last time that just showed the aftermath of this brother laying dead in the street. I'm not gonna play that shit again. The cop says he jumped on the windshield. He says he feared, this is always a common thing, he said he feared for the life of, I think, his daughter, and his wife was in the car, right? So at that time, I thought about it a particular way. Like, it seemed fishy to me, but I was even on, okay, let's just say any of us is driving, right? I'll be trying to be as realistic as possible, not always relying on race or racism. I want to be fair to everybody, right? If you drive in your car and somebody jump on the windshield and they start with their hand, they fist knocking your windshield, is this the immediate answer to you is going to be to shoot them? I don't think so. See, so I'm gonna get into that in a minute, but this is why I'm bringing up this story today, family. So someone from this brother's family, because I reported on this story in January and it got a little bit of traction, someone from this brother's family reached out to me and just thanked me for talking about the story. She thanked me for just doing some of the things that I do, and she also gave me an update on what's going on. You know what I mean? And look, family, we need to realize the importance of all of us being involved in trying to, like, mitigate justice in this country. No matter how small or big, your voice matters, family. This is one of the biggest reasons why I do what I do. I want all of us to realize our voice matters, and it may take all of us being involved in some degree for a lot of this shit to change. You can't just sit on the sideline and act like you don't see what's happening. You can't think that, hey, if I do come out and talk about what's going on with my people, in a revolutionary way or unapologetic way, that nobody's going to see it or nobody's going to care. That's not the case. Not just with this sister who reached out to me, but just in general, doing what I do. A lot of people reach out to me about the importance of having a voice. So we need to be clear on that, family. If you see an injustice taking place in your community on the news, don't be afraid to talk about it. Don't be afraid to stand on the fact that we get treated a particular way. We're not victims, but at times we get victimized. So the sister reached out to me and mentioned, she thanked me for talking about this story. Then she gave me some more information. I went and looked at the article. So here's the thing, family. When this white man, Jeffrey Hash, let me make sure I say his name correctly. Jeffrey Hash is his name. Jeffrey Hash is the Caucasian gentleman who hit Jason Walker. Jason Walker, walking across the street, he's hit by a vehicle. The dude gets out and shoots him 4 times. Now, there was witnesses on the scene who said they didn't see him jump on the vehicle. So, but there's conflicting stories. Like, we have to be completely contextual. Jeffrey's father, who was on the scene, the video I posted, his father was in the video. His father did say Jeffrey jumped on the vehicle, right? So let's be completely fair At all times, I'm hell on racism, but I don't dislike white people. You see what I'm saying? Just if you're racist, just if you have something against me based on some historical shit or based on anything like that, I'm gonna always have a problem with that, right? So he jumps. So the father is saying he jumped on the car. A witness saying he didn't. Whatever. Because in my opinion, even if someone jumps on your windshield, it doesn't give you a right to shoot him 4 times. Because this cop shot him 4 times in the head, heart, back, and chest. He was trying to kill him. You see what I'm saying? But here's the thing. When the story came out, it seemed as if they were trying to propagate the message that this brother was mentally ill. He was drunk. He was going through something. That's what caused him to jump on the vehicle, right? Well, autopsy reports come out a few days ago that basically say there was no drugs in Jeffrey's system, right? So this brother was sober. No drugs in his system as of right now, because as more information comes out, I'll talk about it. If he was mentally ill, we can deal with that. There's no information about that. His father, when they talked to his father about, hey, is your son mentally ill? And this was all on the video. His father said he didn't know. I don't know what that means if you was dad, but if that comes out, then we'll talk about that. But as of right now, it looks like a white man shot a black man in Fayetteville, North Carolina. This was Fayetteville, North Carolina. January 8th is when this took place, right? Fayetteville, North Carolina, January 8th. A black man is crossing the street, and there's different reports on how he actually ended up getting his life taken from him. But the bottom line is the cop shot him, and it's going to be a homicide now. You see what I'm saying? But when it initially happened, the cop is saying he's scared. He was scared for his family. The cop was saying, he kept saying, because the cop called 911 after he shot this gentleman, and he kept saying it's the hostile environment. This environment is hostile, meaning after he shot him, people begin to gather around to see what was going on. That's just how it happens. Most of these people were black, but he's saying hostile, hostile, hostile. To me, that's his way. That's like a code word for I'm in a dangerous type of situation, so I had to do what I did. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully this cop gets charged, but I have to make sure I talk to my people about everything I think is important that takes place with us, right? So the autopsy report for Jason Walker proved that he wasn't drunk, he wasn't high, no drugs in his system, right? So y'all tell me, because again, if it comes out this brother was mentally ill, I'll talk about this and we'll have a conversation about it. But in what world do someone be walking down the street? You're walking down the street, a vehicle's coming to the left, to the right of you. You just jump on the vehicle for no reason and start busting your hand on the windshield. You pull the windshield wiper off and start trying to bust the window. This shit sounds dramatical. You know what happens a lot of times throughout history, just if you guys don't know, throughout history, when we've been lied on, right? When we look at lynchings and a lot of the killings from the early 1900s all the way up until now, there was always an excuse given. He looked at a white woman. He ran a red light. He was hostile. He was the aggressor. They come with all this shit, but they always make it real fantastical, in my opinion. You see what I'm saying? They always make us seem like super niggas. They always make us seem like we do some shit beyond what a normal human can do. What reason would anyone jump on somebody's windshield? A car's driving by. You just jump on the windshield. And important fact, the police commissioner in that area released information that said inside of Jeffrey's car, Jeffrey Hash, the white gentleman you see here on the screen, there's a black box. This black box detects any type of accidents. It detects any type of anything that happens to the vehicle. If the vehicle's hit, the vehicle's pushed off the curb, the different lights that are going on in the vehicle. This black box detects anything that happens of that nature. This black box proved that nothing hit his vehicle. Because if he's driving 25, 30, 40 miles an hour and a person jumps on his vehicle, there's going to be an indentation. There's going to be something that showed someone was here. The police chief is saying none of that is the case. So in my opinion, family, this white man killed this brother in cold blood. So we always got to have the conversation, right? This always has to happen. Why are white people so afraid of us, family? You see what I'm saying? We always come back to the same shit when we're speaking about these type of incidents. And I always mention, the fact that we don't live with each other a lot. I always mention that they're not familiar with our mannerisms or be around us or be around us a lot. All these things are true, family. But the biggest thing here, this cop has to be held accountable. Police or not, he needs to go to jail because this brother's family, if you guys don't know, in Fayetteville, North Carolina, because I'm in Sacramento, California. You could be wherever you are in the country. Just know that just because you're not in the city, you're not too familiar in a particular city. You're not familiar with what's going on and how they're trying to rectify certain situations. So the sister who reached out to me told me they still marching every week for this brother in Fayetteville, North Carolina. You see what I'm saying? This is a 37-year-old black man who lost his life. He had a 14-year-old son who he was responsible for taking care of. It's important that we humanize our people the same way they do a goddamn Rittenhouse or the dude who killed George Floyd. Like we need to do this for our people. That's why different variations of black media, different variations of black outlets of people who not scared to talk about what's going on. This shit's important, family. When this sister reached out to me to thank me for talking about her loved one, that warmed my heart, man, because that is why I do this shit, family. We're 14% of the population. Let me make something clear to you. We're only 14% of the population. In order for us to move forward, move forward in a direction where we're more on an even playing field. Yes, you can look at politicians, you can look at the structure of this system, people who run this country. Yes, they have a say-so in this, but I'm always talking about people because we continue to vote every 4 years. Ain't shit really changing. So let's begin to look at each other and say, you know what? It's not a lot of us, but we're going to stick together. What I always tell myself, Jason Walker is my brother. We ain't got the same mama, but we got the same melanin. So that's my brother. I'm a treat it like it was my son that got hurt. Because a lot of you black folks, you like to tell me I'm always getting, white folks and black folks hit me up, but black folks always telling me, hey, it ain't that bad. Now, sometimes this is a black person with a real good job or a non-black spouse or a situation where they're removed from the hood or certain instances. So they feel like, hey, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Family, what we need to be clear on, regardless of your status in America as a melanated person, regardless of your status in America, a melanated person, we're all the same. And at any moment, am I freezing up here? And at any moment, any of this type of shit can happen to us. When it comes to police violence, when it comes to vigilante violence, this shit can happen to any of us. You see what I'm saying? So let's care, man. That's the whole point of my conversations with you guys. And sometimes I'm like, because somebody else told me the other day, hey man, you kind of cuss too much. I'm like, yeah. See, you're looking at the wrong things. You're looking at the wrong thing, man. I'm able to speak and get my point across. If you don't watch my interviews, most, not all, because this is kind of how I talk, most of the interviews I do on the Melanated Convo YouTube channel, I've interviewed mayors and politicians and people who are millionaires. I'm not going to I know how to not use profanity. Like, I know how to articulate myself. But listen, if I'm talking about war, because to me, that's what we in. It's a war against the black body in America, if you ain't noticed. If I'm talking about war, you think I'm going to be talking nice? You think I'm going to be calming myself down and being docile? Fuck that. Fuck that. We dying, family. I did a video a few weeks ago about Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, revolutionary gentlemen, right, from our past. And one of the biggest things I was trying to get across to people, and I was getting shit about that too, when Martin died, when Martin died, Medgar Evers, you picked the individual that was killed by systematic racism. Fuck all the conspiracy theories you hear there and there. No, Malcolm, Martin, Medgar Evers, I can keep going with different names. Systematic racism killed these brothers. They're a part of our community. What did we do to defend their honor? Jesse Jackson was right there when Martin Luther King got shot. Right there. Like, right there. You know what I mean? What happened? See? What changed? That's what I'll be trying to think sometime. I'm going off on a tangent here, but I'll be trying to think about what changed. Malcolm Martin, they're revolutionary. They're trying to change the system from the inside out or from the outside in, however you want to see it. These brothers end up dead, of course. J. Edgar Hoover was a asshole who attacked our community, right? But at the end of the day, I'll be thinking, damn, why the powers that be don't see none of these current black folks as threats? Why they don't see none of these current black folks as threats? Why Jesse Jackson ain't on the same shit Malcolm or Martin was on? This your homeboy. Think about that real quick. I always try to humanize things and be contextual and like just put it on a human basis. If my homeboys, I got homeboys I've been cool with for 20 something, almost 30 years. Somebody shoot them. It's probably gonna piss me off. It's probably gonna want me to. I'm probably gonna want to find out who did it. If they don't get arrested, I want to find out who did it. Once I find out who did it, I'm gonna determine how far I want to go. You see what I'm saying? But like I mentioned in that video, all the murders that happened in the 60s, all the civil rights leaders, that was killed in the 60s, it created a fear amongst our community, and it created a generation of docile Black Americans, melanated Americans, because in the back of their mind, they felt, if I speak up, if I go out on a limb for my people, they're going to kill my ass. And some of us is just scared of that. You see what I'm saying? So this brother, Jason Walker, lost his life, family. This cop needs to be arrested. Because systematically we're shut out of shit, because the majority of the judges and the officials that have to make sure these things happen fairly are white people as well. Let's keep it real. And a lot of them don't come from environments that have a lot of Black people that frequent. So we see a lot of fuck shit when it comes to relying on the court system to give us justice. You see what I'm saying? So we got to use our voice however you see fit. You can do what I'm doing. You can go to your community and talk to them. You can go to the PTA meetings, or you can go to the town hall meetings. You can use your social media. You can be in social spaces with people who aren't Black and use your voice. But the point is, being quiet won't stop this shit. That's the whole point of all of this. People ask me sometimes, like, what are you doing this for? What's your goal? The fuck you mean what my goal is? Look, I'm a 41-year-old Black man with 5 kids, and I got 5 grandkids. Think about that. And I'm 41 years old. Shit. Think about how young that is. So my mind is always, at this point, I grind so hard. My mind is always, all right, 25 years. Do I want my granddaughter to cut on the TV and see a story about police brutality? I mean, shit. Damn. When is it going to stop? When is it going to be a more of a fair environment for everybody involved? If it's not fair, if we're treated a particular way, I'm always asking y'all, what are we going to do about it? Now, again, don't DM me. I'm not talking grab guns and go kill white. That's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. There's a whole bunch of productive ways you can participate in this movement that'll help us all. So when Jason Walker's family member called or emailed me to let me know they seen the video, and what she told me, which I wasn't aware of, many people haven't been talking about it. You see what I'm saying? So she was just happy I was talking about it. She gave me more information. We exchanged numbers and shit. You know what I mean? Family, this is what it's about. This is why I do this shit. You never know who's watching. We're only 14% of the population. It's not a lot of us compared to some races of people. It would behoove us to try to stick together, to try to be on the same page. So RIP to the brother Jason Walker, 37-year-old Black man who was killed walking across the street. Off-duty police officer Jeffrey Harsh killed this man. And as we always see when we get killed by a cop or some sort of authority figure or just a white person, Kyle Rittenhouse proved that you can just be white and cry and get off. You see what I'm saying? So we trying to seek justice for this brother. This cop needs to go to jail. We need to continue to talk about this kind of shit. The cop is saying that that Jason, the cop is saying he was driving. He was off duty at the time. He's driving, and Jason jumps on his windshield, starts banging on the windshield. Now let's look at it. The only way a person would do that is if they have a personal vendetta against you or if they're mentally ill. There's no other reason a regular sane individual is going to jump on your vehicle. And then the police chief in that area, Cumberland County or something like that, the police chief in that area said, in Jeffrey Harsh, the white man you see on the screen who killed our brother Jason Walker, there's a black box inside of his car that indicates all type of friction. If you get in an accident, if some of the lights are out, if someone hits you, like any type of accident or any type of collision, any type of collision, this black box will alert you and let you know what happened. Well, the police chief said the black box didn't alert of any type of friction on the vehicle, meaning Jason may not have jumped on the vehicle. When I reported this story in January, it seemed fishy, family. And we, like, what this country doesn't realize, when you let a Kyle Rittenhouse off, when you let a George Zimmerman off, when you let off a white man who at the time ain't even a police, like ain't even an authority figure, just a regular vigilante white man, when you allow these type of individuals to kill us, what do you think the type of precedents you're setting? See, especially for this guy who's an actual cop, I'm sure he's thinking, I'm letting this motherfucker go because I ain't going to jail. Jail ain't what's going to happen to me. So yeah, I'll pull this gun out. Yeah, I'll pull this gun out and shoot him. Because again, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned logically, theoretically, all of us, let's look at this. You driving, somebody, you don't know who the person is. Somebody jumps on your windshield. They're pounding on your windshield. No gun, no weapon, just a person on your windshield trying to break the window. Your first reaction gonna be to kill him? Because again, let's go to the receipts. Excuse me, family. Jason was shot 4 times. Jason was shot 4 times. In his head, in his heart, in his back, in his chest. Kill shots. He was trying to kill him. He was trying to kill him, because I'm always on the side of, okay, boom, you do pull your gun. How about just make sure the person don't get back up no more? Shoot him in the leg. Shoot him in the arm. Shoot him in one of the arteries where you know they ain't going to die, but they ain't going to come for you no more. Why is it always I'm shooting to kill type of shit? That, for me, that don't make sense. You see what I'm saying? So when I reported this story in January, it seemed fishy. I'm happy the sister reached out to me. I hope this cop get convicted. But family, we behind enemy lines, man. That's why a lot of my videos, a lot of my commentary be about what we can do. History, teaching, being a better father, being aware of where you're at, practicing your Second Amendment rights. Like if you're a individual in our community which I know a lot of them, who appreciate the political structure in this system or in this country, or you participate, you participate in the political structure. You vote, when you vote for a president, you want to hold them accountable. You're involved in the Democratic and Republican mudslinging that they always do. You know about these things. You're aware of them. You want to hold your politicians accountable. This is a good thing. Like if you're a person, a black person, a melanated person, I think all of us should be aware of what's going on around us. Read a newspaper. Go on your phone. Read some articles about the world. Even if it isn't just about us in particular. Read, goddammit. You see what I'm saying? So when I see a black person who's enthralled in the political landscape, I'd be like, all right, cool. I like the fact that you care about what's going on in the country. But what I've learned and what I think, you should be even more concerned with what you can do personally to help out our struggle, whatever that may be. However you feel you can help out, that's extremely important. See, because to just go place a vote for somebody and then go back to your day-to-day life, to me, that's not gonna cut it. I'm black in America, so excuse me for wanting a politician to do things for my community. We know the statistics of the housing, the wealth gap in America, like the dilapidated urban communities. We know our history. Like, you should know your history. I go to the community I was raised in, the streets still look the same. The houses look worse, right? So I'm going to look at what's in front of me. And I know, like, voting in a black politician, the sister, I can't remember the sister name, who was getting voted in a few days ago, and these Republicans are giving her all kind of shit. This is systematic racism in America, family. So, black family, what are we going to do about it? Not on no violent shit, but on some, let me sit back and think on how I can help in my neighborhood. Go to a neighborhood who needs help. Like, get with like-minded individuals in your community to try to make a difference. That's what this shit is all about, because we're left to depend on the system to help us. So the brother Jason Walker was killed January 8th, right? Everything I've been mentioning today has kind of revealed that the cop you looking at right here shot him for no fucking reason. The cop said he jumped on the vehicle, but there's a black box inside of his car that shows there was no friction, there was no action, no one jumped on the car. So if no one jumped on the car, why did you kill this black man? I know why he killed him, because he knew he would get off. Since we got here, the life of a black body ain't really meant shit. Can we admit that? People try to tell me, I talk about our history, and they say, man, that was so long ago. What was long ago? Which part of it? Has there been drastic changes? No. Don't play yourself. Just because you can go to just because you can buy houses in most places, just because you can go to the movies, in the store, in different places with white people, don't mean that a high level of systematic racism isn't still taking place today in America. And I'm just one who not going to ignore this shit. I'm tired of talking about it too. How about that? How about, hey, check it out. Make it fair to I'll make you a deal. If the shit was fair tomorrow, I stop all this shit. And we just gonna talk about love and relationships and sports and all that shit. I ain't talking about none of that shit with my people dying. I like sports. Like, I'm an ex-athlete, like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? I hoop. I'm a prime competitor. You see what I'm saying? But my people is what I'm concerned about the most in the incidents that are happening that affect us the most. In sports, movies, I love all that shit. It's kind of just distractions, though. So I'm not going to be distracted by the distractions when there's really a mission here to be had. And I feel bad for Martin or Malcolm, because since they died, let's keep it 1,000, man. Since they died, give me the humongous strides that have happened to change our standing in this country. We still got like 1.2% of the wealth, right? How do you think Martin Luther King would feel if he went to a Martin Luther King Boulevard? Think about that. I'm in Sacramento, California. I got one here in Sacramento. Do you know what happens on Martin Luther King Boulevard? Ain't no marching. Ain't no revolutionary acting. Ain't no hella community sitters and community building, as you would think, right? Degradation, niggerdom is all you see on this street. You see, all these are signs. All these are signs that we still got a long way to go, family. I know you can get a nice job. I know you can buy the car you want. I know you can fuck a white woman. I mean, sorry. I know you can do all that. None of that shit means it's fair now. None of that shit means there still isn't a system in place today that can attack your ass at any moment. Right? Yeah, so I am a victim. People telling me all the time, stop acting like a victim, Harrison. Well, I'm in a system that can victimize me at any moment. Oh, I get it. You want me to think because I don't live in the hood no more. You want me to think because my money a little different that I'm supposed to say, hey, I got here, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Nah, I get pulled over. It can go down tomorrow. Be aware of that. That's why I don't care where you live in America. I don't care how much money you got. My brothers in the hood, my brothers that are in politics, we all together. And this is the point, a level of unity. That's why I'm a continue to do what I do. Man, look, Watch your comedy videos. Watch your videos that relax the other side of your brain so you don't got to think as much. Do that. I do that too at times. But you got to come back here, family. You got to come back here and get that real shit. Tell everybody you got to balance it out. You see what I'm saying? I know work and life and your kids and everything. Sometimes you want to relax it. Don't think. I get it, but don't don't stay in that place for too long because we need your help. You see what I'm saying? And like I tell black fathers, look, everybody's not built for marching or being some type of revolutionary person who speaks things, you know what I mean? Kind of like I'm doing. Hey man, look, be the spook who sat by the door. You ain't got to come out and come on here and yell and scream. No. Just tell us what's going on. Be covert with it. You know what I mean? Let your people know you got their back. If you're in spaces, because we find ourselves sometimes where because of our job or our family or anything we're going through, you may find yourself in an environment where it's not a lot of black people. That's difficult. Let's keep it real. That's a difficult place to be in, whether it be work, school, social environments. I just want all of y'all to be equipped with the love and the pride and the information about who you are. People think I walk into rooms and become Malcolm X. People think I walk into rooms and just start preaching to people. I'm quiet. Unbeknownst to most people, I'm quiet. I'm actually an introverted. I hate big rooms of people and talking to them about. I'm an introverted personality for the most part. But if you engage me, we can go there. See, that's what I learned. Because if you do decide to kind of walk in, is my screen keep freezing on my tripper, man? I'm trying to spit, man. Why this screen freezing? If you walk into a room or you go into environments and you talking history, you talking politics, you talking white supremacy, a lot of times people don't want to hear that shit. If they having fun, you can kill the whole fun because a lot of them ain't thought about it. A lot of them don't care about it. So I'm like, okay. First, learning about history and learning about what happened to us, I was upset. So I was giving that work to every Christian I seen, to any white supremacist I seen, anybody black who was I was giving that work to anybody who needed it. But then I had to learn, okay, you got to pick your spots. I come on here and I express myself in a particular way to kind of get it out of my system. You know what I mean? Now, again, if I'm anywhere, no matter store, church, anywhere, if you ask me things or a certain conversation, I'm going to tell you what I think, but I don't have to wear it on my shoulder. You know what I mean? So we just need to continue to figure out the best way to help our people, however you think you can do so. Again, everybody send a prayer to the family of Jason Walker, 37-year-old black man who was killed in cold blood. It seems like the cop who was involved, who did the murdering, I don't know if he's going to get off, but they've already set it up where he was fearful. He had his wife and his daughter in the car. He was scared. He feared for his life because he was banging on the windshield, all this different shit. Once things get to court, once things get inside of the system and they have to work it out amongst themselves because they're all together, in my opinion, we can just hope for the best. But what we can do is everything we can do individually. Put your boots to the ground and help your people out. You feel me? So this is your brother Harrison, man. Melanated Convo. I just had to come back and talk about this because this is the story I talked about in January. So I'm just giving you an update that the brother, because they said he was mentally ill. They said he was high or something. They said, okay, he jumped on the windshield because he was high. He was out of his mind. Blah, blah, blah. Only thing that was in his system was caffeine. The autopsy report showed the only thing in his system was caffeine. The brother wasn't high. He wasn't off nothing. If he was mentally ill, because I'm always about context, that hasn't came out yet. It doesn't look like that's going to come out. If that does, we'll address it then. But it looks like, again, because I did a story a few weeks ago about a black man who was on a bike, right? Forgot the brother's name. A black man who was on a bike. Boom. He's on a bike riding. A car cuts him off. What he does is he cusses out the person in the car. He tells a white man something, right? The white man calls him a nigger. So the guy follows him, right? He calls him a nigger, right? So the dude on the bike follows him, socks the white guy in his mouth, like through the car window. socks him in his mouth. Boom. Rides off in his bike. The white guy follows him. The white guy and his wife follow the gentleman in his car. The white guy gets out aggressively. Like, hey, what's up now? Right? He gets close up on him. The black man said, hey, I was scared. He approached me. I was scared. I pulled out my gun and shot him. He tried to say, I felt like I was defending myself. That was self-defense to me. Because think about it. In this situation, the black man socked him, right? But he socked him with a gun in his pocket. So that means he could have killed him. But he didn't want to. He said, you call me a nigga? Rightfully so. He rolled off like, shit, that's over. I'm going to the house. The white dude approached him, hand in his pocket, maneuvering. You don't know what he gonna do. I'm scared. Bow. He tried to say I was scared, and that white judge said, nigga. You scared, nigga? No. Take that off the table. You getting sentenced. You can't stand your ground. Niggas can't stand their ground. Hey, y'all, that's what they forgot to tell us. We look at these stand your ground laws. It's not a stand your ground law. It's a stand your ground if you're white law. That's the caveat they forgot to mention. Because if you a nigga, you ain't standing your ground. You see what I'm saying? So the system's unfair, and I'm tired of talking about it. Just like, I'm actually tired of talking about a lot of this shit. But I'm never going to stop until it changes, right? You want your grandkids to be dealing with police brutality? Think about that. Then what is all this for if 60, 70 years from now, it's going to be the same? You're going to be an old man cutting on the TV, seeing a teenage black kid get killed? No, man. No. So, again, RIP to the brother. I send my condolences to his family. Shout out to his family member who reached out to me. That meant a lot to me just to say, hey, brother, thank you. Was the bike incident in Texas, Cassius? I think it was in Texas, Cassius. If I'm not mistaken, Cassius, I think it was. And basically, he was riding his bike, and someone in the drivers of the car, you know how traffic be. Maybe he went out too far. Maybe they went out too far. But the incident happened, and the white gentleman chose to call him something, because this is something that people don't talk about a lot too. Being a black man, a melanated man, like I'm always keep it real with everything I say, right? If I get into it with a person, don't matter the color of the person, they piss me off or something, cut me off in traffic, right? If a white man cuts me off in traffic, the first thing I don't say, you motherfucking cracker. I don't think to say that. I'm going to cuss you out though. I'm going to call you a name. I'm going to say some things that are unpleasant. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to do the racial slur. It seems like every time somebody white gets upset with us, what do they turn to? What do they say to us? You see what I'm saying? So in my opinion, if someone says that to you and you want to put your hands on them, you got to be ready for the consequences. But shit, I don't knock that. So this black guy, he's in traffic. He's riding his bike. The white, I think he goes in front of their SUV or something. And the white guy said some things to him about being a nigga or something. The black guy came back to the car, socked him in his mouth. This is a black man with a gun in his pocket. Think about that. He could have took the gun out and shot him. He didn't want to kill him or her. He just wanted to send a message. Shut your goddamn mouth. So he socks him, goes off on the bike. The white guy follows him. Isn't this how they normally say you go to jail when you're the aggressor, right? When you're the aggressor, when you have motive, right? In that situation, the white guy had motive. He just socked me. He told his wife, follow him. If you follow him, you're looking for trouble now. This black guy tried to say, hey, I was standing my ground. The judge laughed him out of there. See? The judge laughed him out of there. So the system's unfair at every turn. We just got to continue to be aware of it and care about it. You feel me? So I'm going to keep saying this, man. RIP to the brother Jason Walker. Y'all, when y'all see a black man get killed by the cops, when y'all, even in our hoods, because people be saying, well, look, you will talk about police brutality, but you won't talk about brothers getting killed in the hood. Yeah, we do. Yeah, I do. Now I understand hoods were created, ghettos, ghettos in America were created. So I understand that the communities that a lot of these young dudes come from, the circumstances and everything surrounding the environment was kind of put in place for you to be dysfunctional. I get that. That don't mean you have to be, but I get that's how it happened. But I'm hell on my brothers too about how we treat each other. I get at work to anybody, to everybody. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't about that. It's just about being fair. It's about being honest and about being fair. So thank you everybody for listening to the show today. Subscribe to the Melanated Convo YouTube channel if you have not done so. A lot of good stuff going on that channel, man. I always tell y'all, if you know a coon, if you know a black person on the fence, if you know what about black on black crime Negro, send them to me. See, I'm fair. See, some of my other brothers are a little more radical than me. When speaking of men on YouTube in this country who speak for justice for black people, some of us are a little more radical than others. See, I'll be able to reach the coon, see, because I'm a little more tactful with how I approach it. You know what I mean? So send them over. I'm gonna give him a couple books. Boom, boom, boom. Start him a couple books. He'll be loving us in no time. See, it can be easy. We just got to give a shit like I do. You feel me? So this is your brother, man. Melanated Convo. If you don't, another thing, if you don't like watching videos, right? Everything I do is on all digital platforms: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Overcast. Every place digital podcasts are available, you can find this show. I do interviews once a week, but throughout the week, I talk about things. Just me. I talk about things that are affecting my community. I talk about how that relates to how it's affecting me. I'm always have transparent conversations about what we go through. All of this can be found on the YouTube channel, which is the Melanated Convo on YouTube, or through all the digital platforms. The digital downloads, I do better digitally than I do on YouTube for some reason. Don't matter to me. I'm gonna keep striving. But people like listening to the show as well. If that's you at work, riding your bike, in the car, don't want to watch a video, definitely go to one of the digital platforms that you're familiar with. Go to one of the digital platforms that you're familiar with, and you can find the show there. Also, do me a favor. If you have not watched the latest interview that, again, is everywhere I just told you, I just did an interview with three brothers who create. These are three black men from my city. I'm in Sacramento, California. Three black men who created, they all have their own clothing line. So they have individual businesses, right? But they chose to create a clothing store that allows outside clothing designers to put their clothes inside of this store. So these brothers, I'm always talking about unity. I'm always talking about being on code. These brothers are the epitome of that. You see what I'm saying? So if you haven't watched that video yet, go to the Melanated Convo, go to one of the digital platforms, watch the interview. It's motivating. Whenever I see, especially, and I'm gonna keep it real, but especially when I see hood brothers from the environment I grew up in, who choose to start a business, who choose to get a regular job. Some of you aren't aware of how difficult that is for a black man who came from a certain environment, who has a certain mentality, because some of our brothers, for whatever reason, has felt like they had to get money on the other side of the law, right? Selling whatever they had to sell to get whatever they had to get. We ain't gonna get into that. You see what I'm saying? And then some of these brothers end up being good at that. So you get into a situation where I'm good at it. I make more money than a person working the job. I am almost addicted to the money like the drug addict is addicted to the drug. You see, some people don't see it that way. So when this brother decides to let go this dangerous environment, yet very fast money, to do something that most people in our community consider square, I applaud it, because that's what we need. When we talk about the environments where brothers is killing each other, the degradation in the neighborhoods, lack of resources, all these things, when we see a brother move out of that space, maybe the same mentality a little bit, but he moves out of that space to empower himself and his family, we have to salute him, because we need more to do it, right? So practice congratulating, not hating. Too many people I see like to say negative shit. This is in person. This is online. Like, I don't want to be negative about nothing. I like smiling. I like being happy. Now, don't come for me. I know what I'm talking about, and we can have a diatribe about whatever you want to talk about. But in general, be nice to people. Like, don't come off as chill. Be nice. Be loving. Put that in the universe. Put out that good energy. Put out that positive energy. You know what I mean? So the shit can come back to you. You feel me? That's how I feel. That's why I'm not into gossiping, talking shit about people. I don't use my tongue for none of that. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? If you sitting around talking about somebody, you probably ain't getting it. You probably ain't living your dream. I really don't got time to sit around speaking negatively about nobody. Or if I do say something, it's like they sitting right there. Because whatever I say, I can say it just like you was right there. You feel me? So let's get this thing right, man. This Sunday night, this is your brother Harrison, the Mental Convo. I'm out.